is that?
I don't know.
What are you gonna do?
I left my suit in the hotel room.
Why?
Because I'm on vacation, Ned. Everyone's gonna see my face. Just get them out of here.
Go!
Just go.
What up, everybody? This is AK87 from DCNDolo, and I'm back with another movie review. This time I'm very excited for this movie because I'm going to be reviewing my favorite superhero from the Marvel comics. And that's Spider-Man. It's basically the sequel from Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't know if really would you call it a sequel since Spider-Man has been in other films like Captain America Civil War. But that's neither here nor there. I'll say I was excited for this film. The acting, it had its, it seemed more like a comedy, but I pretty much like the action in the film. Samuel Jackson, he was pretty funny, but there was something that was off about him to me. He didn't seem like the same Nick Fury. And actually, at the end, there's going to be a end credit scene that's kind of confirmed. So first I want to say that there is a mid-credit scene after, do the main character's the title and who the actors are, and the mid-credit scene. You got to wait all the way to the very end for an end credit scene. All scenes are, I would say, important. Now, I'll say the mid-credit scene is more important than the end credit scene. But to get with the story, so Spider-Man, he's in high school, and it's after the events of Avengers Endgame. For those who haven't watched Avengers Endgame, you probably wouldn't want to watch this. You got to watch that one first. So in high school, I like the way how they explain the Thanos snap and how it's a 5-year gap. I think they had this one scene where they had a basketball game and then they got incinerated, and then 5 years go by, at another basketball game, then they come back. So basically, what they have it is like if you were in 8th grade, and you did not snap, then you probably a senior, but then everybody who comes back from being snapped are the same age. And they actually had this one character that was like, they use as an example. This one kid, he's really short and nerdy, and he come back and he's very tall, muscular, and all that. So Spider-Man's going on vacation to Venice, Italy, and he didn't want to be Spider-Man. He just wanted to go on vacation. He wanted to try to get the girl he liked, which is MJ, which is played by Zendaya. I still haven't figured out, is this a different type of MJ, or is this the same MJ from the comics that Spider-Man actually dates? And in the previous films, MJ with the redhead, but this is a black girl, so I don't know if they're casting her as MJ or they're just a totally different MJ. But they're at Italy, and once they get there, you have Nick Fury keeps constantly trying to contact Spider-Man, then he puts Spider-Man to voicemail. Basically, they try to use Happy, which is I would say the driver for Tony Stark. They try to always get him to contact Spider-Man, but he don't want to be bothered. He leaves his spider suit back in New York, and he just wants to go on vacation. This is a class trip, and that's all he wants to do. But Nick Fury keeps kind of very persistent, and basically he shows up, and he says, "Look, the world needs you." And then he said, "No, I don't want to be there. I don't want to, I just want to go on my trip. I just want to be a Spider-Man from New York." He calls it the Philly neighborhood Spider-Man. But Nick Fury said, "You're an Avenger. You've been to space. You just need to go ahead and handle business." He said, I think he was kind of bullying him, which was shocking to me from what Nick Fury was doing, like bullying him into being Spider-Man again. So we have this new guy named Mysterio, where he claims that he's from a multiverse, a different Earth, and what the destruction that happened on his Earth has come to this Earth, and they want Spider-Man to do it. Now, it's in Italy of all places. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. We'll find out. So Spider-Man said, "Fine, I'll do this one thing, and then I'm going back to my trip." So then Nick Fury was like, "Fine." Spider-Man actually goes there. He did his thing. The action was great. Now, I really don't know I don't know Mysterio's powers per se. I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know. I really don't know. It was interesting what they were doing, but Spider-Man he ends up doing his thing, but what he does is they give a black suit. He won't be Spider-Man because he feels that if he becomes Spider-Man, and they he's in Italy, then people are gonna figure it out that he is Spider-Man. So they give him a black suit. He does what Spider-Man does, which I love. But I love the action, the way he fights. I like it's different. It's unique because of his instincts. Which is funny. They call it the Peter Tingle. I call it the Spidey sense. I know they're trying to be funny with that. We're gonna add to that. You have certain comedic scenes that I can tell that's a comedic scene, but it wasn't funny. I mean, I didn't even get a ha-ha out of that. It just wasn't funny. I saw what they were doing, but I didn't really care. So, and the way they did it with it kind of reminded me of this Boy Meets World scenario in high school where Peter had to be like Corey had to be two places at once. That's kind of Spider-Man was doing. He had to be two places at once, and I didn't really. They're trying to go to this opera thing, and it got kind of corny. Spider-Man got kind of corny. I'm sorry, the Peter Parker scene got kind of corny. I pretty much preferred. No, it got to the point where I was in the film and I was thinking, could we just go with the Spider scenes? Just go with the Spider-Man scenes. I'm not really feeling the story. It was like half the beginning of the story. It was. I just ended up just like. I just took a deep breath. I was just sitting up watching it, and I was sighing all the entire time, and it got kind of boring. It had its moments, but it's like it kind of boring, and I'm sitting there waiting, like, okay, when is this gonna happen? So then, after they go to Italy, they're supposed to go to Paris, and but one thing speaking with them going to Paris, they're supposed to get this bus ride to go to Paris, and because that's I guess that's the trip they're gonna be, hopping different spots in Europe. But they have this Tony Stark, because Tony Stark passed away, and then they gave him Tony Stark's glasses. It's like this special type of glasses that he can use to talk to whoever the AI. I forgot the AI's name at a particular time, but he's I can't even think of it. But there's this AI that he talks to and he uses it. But at this point, it just makes me almost, as a Spider-Man fan, I don't like he's using Tony Stark. Even though Tony Stark has passed away, it's almost like he's using Tony Stark's tech. And the Spider-Man, I know he's a genius himself. He creates his own thing, and he creates his own suit, and he really never really needed anybody. But the way they're doing it is like he just needs Tony Stark. Tony Stark is a mentor, so he has to use his tech. Now, they basically, when he wants to go to Paris, Nick Fury said, "Hey, we need you to go to I think it's Prague, if I'm correct." I'll just say another European city. I don't want to misquote, but and basically he kind of hijacks Spider-Man's trick. And Spider-Man said, "No, I'm not going to Prague. If I go to Prague and I'm supposed to be in Paris, then and Spider-Man seen in Europe, they're gonna know it's me. And if they know it's me, then we're done. Basically, his whole mystique of his identity, secret identity, is done. But Nick Fury hijacks Spider-Man's trip, and then with the way Nick Fury does it, basically they're able to give him a bus and free pass to go to this particular city, and then when Mysterio comes on, MJ is there, and MJ is on to Spider-Man, so when he leaves to go, then and it was, what was it? It was Vienna? Yeah, I think it was Austria. I believe it was Austria. That's what it was. So then they go to this opera. I thought the opera was in Italy, but no, the opera was in Vienna. So he leaves. He tries to give a distraction, and they had planned to go to a carnival, but they said that they decided to go to. Well, the students didn't want to, by the way. They go to the opera. So Spider-Man leaves opera. The MJ like, what's up? Because they had planned to sit with Peter Parker. I don't know when this romance came. They didn't show like the build up that MJ and Peter romance was gonna happen, but I didn't really. That's just another thing. Like I ain't like I feel like that. So MJ finds Peter Parker, Spider-Man. They called him I think they called him the Spider Monkey or Iron Monkey or Black Monkey, something like that. I don't know. But MJ finds a part that basically finds his tech that supposedly belongs to Mysterio. Now here's the plot twist that I didn't like. It's the same Now, mind you, if this is Mysterio's character, then I take it back. But partly, I don't think this is Mysterio's character. It reminds me of the same plot in the Iron Man 3 where you had the particular villain that was this way, and then come to find out he ain't that. And then you have this villain with Mysterio this way, and you kind of find out that it's something totally different. Then I was just sitting like, oh, great. So now I was like, okay, well, he doesn't, well, I don't want to spoil it. I'd say there's a twist. It's a big old twist that, you know, some people might like it, some people might not. I particularly did not like it, but I'm not gonna spoil it, so I'm gonna get back to the ending. The very third act is the best part of the movie. And in the entire time, they were asking, how can he have his spider sense? They call it the Peter tingle because he gets it from Aunt May. Aunt May calls that. Peter Parker never liked that, but he was trying to get the one where he can instantly move and instantly react without thinking. His body just does the reaction of fighting for him. There's this one scene where he finally taps into his spider sense. It is the greatest thing I've seen in all the Spider-Man films. It is that segment where he was, jumping up and down, destroying things, dodging things, shooting web. It was just awesome. Honestly, that scene to me was the best scene in the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. That scene right there, that scene is gonna make me want to go watch the movie again. So I'm gonna give the movie 3 out of 5 stars because I could have gave it more, but there's a lot of corny scenes and the comedy just what to stick. I don't know. Do they actually? Let me ask you this to the audience. Y'all can write this in the comment section. Do they actually hire comedians? Like, okay, we got this comedic line. Just hey, can you come up with something funny and something to make people laugh? Because some of it doesn't hit. It's not spot on. It's like, and the fact that I know what you're doing, it makes it worse. But let's get back to the mid-credit scene. You have to watch the mid-credit scene because something will happen in the mid-credit scene that even I'm just shocked. Now what they did with that, I'm wondering now how are they going to proceed with the future Spider-Man films. So I believe they're saying that this is the very first film for MCU Phase 4, which is I'm curious what they're going to. I'm shocked they got me. I'm the movie guy. And I usually predict everything, to be honest. I watch some of the movies, but hey, they got me. I don't know where this is going. I'm really curious of how they're gonna do this. So I would say stay for the mid-credit scene. Just stay for the entire credit scene to the end when you get the end credit scene. But I will, as I said, it's a 3 out of 5 stars. This is my favorite superhero. And half the reason why I give it 3 out of 5 stars because I'm waiting to see what I like about Spider-Man. That's the Spider Sense. They went to the very last scene. I guess I can be satisfied. But, I wish I would have had it in the other films. The romance thing, if you're going to do a romance thing, then, let it sit right. I don't know if it's the chemistry between the actors, between Zendaya and Tom. I don't know. But I really wasn't feeling the romance scene. But, it is what it is. They're young. That's high school's love. And it could be because I'm not really into high school teen films like that. And this is kind of like a high school teen setting. But the action, perfect. The CGI, perfect. The fight scene between Mysterio and Spider-Man, don't know if that was a spoiler or not. I don't believe it is. But the illusions was good. I hope in the next film, because there's this one scene where Tony Stark left his tech and then Spider-Man uses his tech to, build his own suit. And then I'm like, I guess that's Peter Parker doing his own thing, but the Spider-Man I like is Spider-Man's a genius. He builds his own tech. Cause I'm like Tony Stark builds his own tech. Spider-Man, he builds his own tech too. And I don't like that relying on Tony Stark using his tech for Spider-Man. I don't know if that goes with Peter Parker. Peter Parker's a genius too, and they say that Tony Stark picked Peter Parker because I guess he's like reminds him of him. He's a genius too. Well, if that be the case, and let Peter Parker do his own thing. But I might come with a spoiler review. I don't know. I think I halfway spoiled part of it. But this is AK87. This is from DCNDolo. But back into the movie review. Lion King is coming in 2 weeks. I will definitely do a spoiler, and I might get a couple people to come join me on the review. Because Lion King, that is the greatest Disney film of all time. I can't wait to see it. And I'm gonna catch y'all with another movie review. Make sure y'all watch Spider-Man. I think y'all enjoy it more than me. If you're not a comic book fan, I think you'll still enjoy it. If you're a comic book fan, you enjoy it, but then you might have little gripes. But I think it's a good time. Watch it at IMAX too. Got to get that IMAX at least once. Go to IMAX and watch it. And that's it. Peace.